Hey guys, just making a short video on how to make surf ramp the way I did the other day. First thing you want to do is follow this video tutorial from a guy for source 1. It's from 10 years ago, but hey, it works. And or at least it works for me. And I'm really happy with the results. So please watch this guy's video and it'll show you how to make surf ramps, which seems to be the best method I've come across so far. I'll put the link in the description. And after you've done this, I'll show you how to clip them for source 2, which will be right about now. Okay, so we're in Hammer and looking at the ramp with its clip faces on the top. The idea is you have your visual ramp underneath that the player sees, but the ramp that they actually surf is the clips over it. See, the way they overlap with each other makes it so as you're surfing along, you don't actually catch an edge here because of the way they overlap and stop each other. Let's see if I go into edge mode. See how it overlaps the first. And this one is underneath these edges. So you kind of just, it's more smooth and it helps prevent ramp bug as much as possible in the state of CS2 right now, which is great. So underneath, let me just get rid of all the clips here. Underneath we have the ramp itself that we made. So what you want to do, I'm just going to do it over again. I'm going to copy, paste special. Okay. I'm going to move it with the translate. I press T because it just goes to it fast. So what we want to do with the ramp here is you want to go to face mode and you're going to select all of the faces that the player will surf. You don't have to worry about the bottom. You can make a separate clip for that later if you don't want people like underneath and jumping into the surf or whatever. So just the surfaces for now. So I'm going to select all of the faces that the player may end up surfing on. Go through all of them. Holding down shift so you can multi-select. And I do the bottoms too because why not? They won't surf there. They'll just fall off, but whatever. Maybe if they're on the ground, if there's like no teleporter, at least there's like some sort of barrier there. So it makes sense for the gameplay. Okay, so I have all of the surfaces selected. Now what I want to do, while they're all selected, right click, copy, paste special, okay. And I need the clip material. So I'm at the clip material looking at it. I'm holding down shift and pressing right click. It'll grab the material. So I've got all these faces selected. I'm going to press shift T to apply clip to the clip material instead of having to do it all individually. So now all the faces are selected and they're the right material. Now what I want to do is while they're all selected, I'm going to go into the face options here on the left and thicken the faces. The reason I didn't select the bottom is because if you have them all selected, it's not going to do this. It'll try to thicken like a whole thing instead, and it just doesn't work properly. So see how it's made like a casing of faces around it, but it's still level with the ramp itself. Which, I mean, it doesn't matter because you make the ramp a non-solid after. But what I do is apply thicken from center instead of not from center. You see the difference? So it makes like a casing of clip over it. And that's all there is to it, honestly. So that's done. I'm gonna click away to deselect all of this stuff. And now you have, so I'm gonna press H to hide the actual ramp section underneath it. You have these casings of clip that are over it. Control Z to undo, and U to unhide. And there we go. You have your surfable ramp. So let's yeah, same thing here as here. So that's how you do ramps, and you can do this. That video I sent you, the tutorial, you can do that to make sloping ramps, straight ramps. You can apply the same method for corners, so you can do like a C-shaped corner so that the player could surf through if you want to. It seems to be the best method so far that I've come across for making surfs that will ramp bug the least amount possible with that console command, because that's what surf servers are using. And then, um, of course, surf servers that also use the rampbugfix plugin will make it even better. Like, there's still a chance that you'll ramp bug with this method. Like, there's just no way to get rid of it. This is just the best way to avoid it as much as possible that I've found so far. So with rampbugfix and making your surfs like this, it makes for a nice smooth experience. After you've made the casings of the clips, there's something important you need to do, and it's the object's physics properties. So have them all selected in object mode. And I'm going to scroll down to their physics. Their physics types is none, because I already made the sections a non-solid. They were meshes. So I changed their mesh to none, or you can do default too. But meshes ramp bug a lot. So for the clips, to make them not ramp bug a lot, you turn them into single convex hulls. So what that does is, here, I'll turn on the collision view. This is collision view. What you can see is, what you'll mostly ramp bug on is the ends of a ramp, like the edge line, or this triangle, or this diagonal line, like this collision line. So because we made those casings, what's happening is each one is overlapping the edge line. Instead of having just connected faces, you would ramp bug on each of them, honestly. So with the overlap, what it does is it puts this face, this first face's end, over the beginning of the second. So you're just sliding off of it. And it applies all the way through, making a much smoother experience and a much less of a chance of ramp bug. So when you want to make the ramp now look the way you want, we have all the clip casings selected. I'm going to hide them. See all these individuals. This will be, a pain to texture or change and make them look how you want. So what I did for my ramps here was to take midsections, just delete them, because you actually don't need them for the visual ramp underneath. It doesn't matter. And so I delete the middles, then I go into face mode and I delete all the faces in the middle as well. Because you don't need them, because this is just a visual underneath that represents what the player is going to be surfing, but it's not actually what they are surfing. So I'm deleting all the individual faces in the middle. Now on edges, double click to select the loop, hold down shift, double click to select the loop so you have both loops selected, and you're going to bridge them and just make the steps 0. So it just creates a new connection point between the two. And just press enter and it's done. Now this is one object. Nice, easy to texture. You can divide up the faces and make like interesting details on them. Like on this one, hide the clip. What I did was split the face and then I pushed these faces inward, and then applied texture. And I just did it throughout. Nice, easy visual ramp that would be sitting underneath the clip brush. Double click, select it all. We're going to slice the faces. Now just kind of mess with it until you get what looks even throughout for 4x by 4y. What this is going to do is slice all the faces evenly on the surface. You might have to do some funny for the ends if you want to change what the ends look. But this is what I did. So you pick them all, pick what you want. I did 4 by 4, and then slice. And it creates new edges along the whole thing evenly. So now I take all the faces that I want to drop, and I'm holding down left click, dragging around. And you can hold down shift to click more if you want, or hold down control to deselect. So I want these faces, and I'm in world access right now. You can see right here, world or local. You can press tab to switch between the two, to change the gizmo on how you want to manipulate stuff. So I switched to local, and what I'm going to do is click this dude, the one that's going out and in, or you can pick whatever one you want to do. I pick this, and I hold down shift, because if you don't hold down shift, so it just moves it, right? So I'm going to hold down shift, and I'm going to go backwards, and it's going to generate new faces when I do that. Basically, you're extruding the face. And that's how I got the interesting little gap in there. And then we'll do it with this texture. Shift, right click to grab the new texture. Now I'm just going to hold down left click, all these faces, and shift T to apply the texture. And then you have it. You have a little thing in there. And you can do whatever. You can make it a window, you can change it. You don't even have to do these like little niche things in it. You can do whatever you want to your surface. And then it's good. Remember, the object underneath has to have no collisions. None. So it's basically just a visual. It's nothing. There's no physics to it at all. Like if I was a player and I walked up to this right now, and I could go right through it. Which, if you don't want that, you can just select bottom faces. I probably should have done that first because there's so many now. You can. I'm gonna grab this texture, and I'm still in local. Watch out for that when you're making stuff. Pressing tab to switch back to world axis. You can just go in here, hold down shift when you do it, or just hold down left click. Select all your faces that you want to turn into clip. Now you can either just turn them into clip if you want, but I wouldn't recommend that because then the bottom of the visual ramp will just be invisible clip. So what I do is select the faces, copy, paste special. The reason I'm using paste special is because when you do that, it makes a direct copy exactly where the faces are. If you just do copy paste, they'll be a little bit offset and a little bit weird. So now I have another set of faces over the visual ramp. And I'm just going to shift T, turn them into clip. So this is, we'll show you here. I'll get rid of the visual ramp. And now you can see there's a clip face underneath, which is solid. Well, it'll be not solid because I copied a non-solid object. Turn these into single convex hull, same as that. It doesn't have to be because you're not going to surf the bottom, but yeah. There you go. You get an actual ramp of clip that's invisible, and then the actual ramp the player sees underneath it. But that's about all there is to it. I hope this helps you.